Okay. So not the start I was expecting. We had to, set up things and it took a little bit of while. So first of all, my apologies for that. And let's start. First of all, let me welcome you all. Course, I hope you are excited for this professional course. And we will be starting our financial accounting subject, and where we will be covering basically fundamentals of accounting, double entry system, preparation of financial statement, and many more things. So before we start, let me give myself an introduction to you all. My name is Vishal. I am an ACCA affiliate. I have scored All India rank at ACCA skill level, All India rank 2 at ACCA professional level. And also I have 7 years of corporate experience. Currently, I'm working in a multinational insurance company, looking after the financial reporting and accounting. Okay, that is about myself. And now we will be starting with the financial accounting subject introduction. Normally what I do that I give students a chance to, introduce themselves. And I can see a couple of students who are already studying with me from different batch, business and technology, are also present today. So it's great to see all of them. And I hope we will have a really nice session where we will be learning about the financial accounting. We'll be having a two-way discussion about like how the subject is, why we are studying it. And let me tell you, this is the foundational subject. It is fundamental for your understanding. So learning this subject will be pivotal for your further understanding of the ACCA course, like at your skill and your professional level. So please, when we are studying this subject, I will definitely, strongly recommend you guys to, create your basis crystal clear here. Do not leave any doubt in this subject, because this will be your base and this will be carrying on forward. Okay. So with this, let me start the class. Any doubt or any question before we start? Okay. Nice. So I'm just sharing my screen and let me know if it is visible to you guys. I hope it is visible. Okay. Thanks to Vishal and Darren for confirming. So let's first, get ourselves an introduction to the subject, like what is financial accounting, because it is very important to understand. Okay, just a second. Just a second. It is not working the way I want it. No worries. We'll manage. Okay. I think some technical glitch here. Okay, let's start. Please settle down. I hope the screen and the slide is also visible. Let's start with the introduction of financial accounting. So what is financial accounting? Let me ask you guys, what do you understand with this financial accounting subject? Anyone who wants to Like why ACCA wants you to, read this subject? What is the purpose of ACCA to teach you the subject? Anyone? Darren says the full process of recording and communicating information to financial users. Well, Yuvraj says to make financial statements. Okay, Yuvraj, my question would be to you, what is financial statement then? Because I haven't taught what is financial statement. Savreed says financial accounting is the process of check the financial performance and position of business. So also you can also tell me if you understand what is financial accounting. If no, don't worry, because this is why we are here.
Financial accounting is basically हम accounting financial statement बनाते हैं external users जिससे वो हमारी कंपनी में इन्वेस्टमेंट वगैरह के डिसीजन के लिए शेयर होल्डर्स को हमारी फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन भी करें.
Okay, very good answer. Okay, one of the students have answered that we prepare financial statements so that we can provide it to the users of financial statement, like external, like investors, and they can use those financial statement to make decisions as such for basically investing. So one very good answer. Janvi says it is a systematic process of identifying business transaction, measurement of terms of money, and recording. Very technical definition, Janvi. I hope you understand what you're saying. Though it is correct, but this is very technical. Okay, Yuvraj says balance sheet, profit and loss statement, cash flow statement. Okay, so what your answer tells me is that you already have a prior knowledge of the financial accounting from your commerce graduation or from your schooling. You might have basically already covered this, basic accounting, like what is debit, credit, what is journal entries, how to prepare balance sheet and all. And this is basically, the good part for you guys would be that major of this syllabus would be from your previous understanding, like basically teaching you about the balance sheet, profit and loss, how to prepare, the tangible account, what is the depreciation, all these things will be covered one by one. Okay, so where is most of the syllabus will always be already be covered. So with this, let's, first of all, let me jump you to the syllabus, like what we are going to study here. Okay. Sure, that's not working. Okay. Anyways, we have to, I think, manage this. So what is basically is in your syllabus? Like if I show you, now I hope this will work. Yeah, it's working. Sorry for this, inconvenience. Right now, the technical system is not helping me much. But anyways, we'll be in much better position tomorrow. So let's understand, first of all, what is the syllabus that, ACCA is trying to teach us at the financial accounting subject at knowledge level. So this subject is, first of all, at your knowledge level. Okay, so here we will be understanding the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals? Like what is financial reporting? What is the purpose and context? When I say context and purpose, what it means is like for whom we prepare the financial statement. Who are the stakeholders? What are the main elements? Like many of you have already answered balance sheet, profit and loss, cash flow statement, changes in equity. So many of you might be already familiar with this, but some of you may not. So that is what we will be learning here. What is regulatory framework? Now, whenever I use the term regulatory, always, substitute it with like statutory or legal. These can be substitute words: regulatory, statutory, or legal. What it means is what, why, or basically what legal requirement is related to financial reporting. Requirements there are like Companies Act, whether there is any standard that we need to follow. Yes, there is IFRS, and that is something you will be learning at your skill and your professional level. So understanding the regulatory framework is very important in terms of financial reporting. That will be part of your syllabus. What are the duties and responsibilities of those charged with governance? Now, this might sound like, what is those charged with governance? But when I say those charged with governance, you can always say that it is management. So first context, like the first section of your syllabus requires you to understand why financial reporting is done. See, financial reporting is nothing but just preparing statements, presenting information, okay, giving the information of financial, non-financial. But why we are doing that? So we will be understanding this in our first chapter, like for whom we prepare this financial statement, why we prepare this financial statement, what are the regulatory requirements, and who are responsible for preparing them. Second section of your syllabus asks you to have the principle and conceptual clarity of accounting. Now, you might have heard this term prudence or matching principle. So there are majorly 10 principles, and we will be covering one each of them and understanding their importance. See, these are the fundamental principle of accounting. Like if you know the debit and credit, so you need to understand that there are certain fundamental principles when we prepare financial statement. So key principle of accounting. Okay, what are the qualitative characteristics useful of financial information? Throughout this syllabus, I will be teaching you like how to prepare and what is basically financial information. But one of the things I would like to mention to you, that there are certain limitations to financial information. One of the limitation is that financial information is historic. That means that whatever information you will prepare, that will be already in the past. And this subject, basically, this is how this subject is different from your management accounting. Because in management accounting, what you will be preparing either information based on current, or you will be basically projecting that information for future. But financial accounting is a financial information presentation and accounting. That is why this is historic. So there are benefits of this financial accounting and there are limitations that we will be covering again. Again, this is, I hope, one of the key element is double entry bookkeeping, double entry system. So how many of you are already aware of this double entry system?
जो financial statement के अंदर के दो लिस्ट होते हैं, अगर कोई भी इनकम हो तो balance sheet में वाली बदलती है.
Okay, very good answer. Let's see what chat says. Yeah, Dia. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, do you want me to unmute you? Every transaction will have at least 2 accounts. Okay, nice. I'll write them. Okay. Any transaction will have effect of 2 accounts. Yeah. Okay. Jivika also says. Very similar answer actually. Any trans. Okay. Everyone, please pour in your answer. To record both the aspects of debit and credit. A very accurate answer, Yuvraj. So if I just talk in a general sense, don't worry, we are just starting. I'm not, explaining any concept. I'm just introducing you. So one of the aspect of accounting is when we post any journal entry. So there are always 2 aspects. One is debit, and one is credit. So anytime you post any journal, you basically prepare any trial balance, you prepare any profit and loss or balance sheet, you will see 2 impacts, either going in P&L and balance sheet correspondingly, either going P&L and P&L or balance sheet to balance sheet. But there will always be two impact. One is debit and one is credit. That is double entry. Don't worry, this is not what I have explained. I have just introduced you. Then we will also understand what is journal ledger, what are journal entries, and then we'll go to our section number D. And this section is actually very important. Like this section is, pivotal for your understanding of how financial information flows in an organization. What is sales? What is purchases? How cash is, accounted? How inventory is accounted? Tangible, non-current assets, depreciation, intangible. These are very key element of your understanding. I hope many of you are already aware with them, but we need to get, a strong, our concept needs to be crystal clear on these things. Okay. We cannot have any kind of doubt in these sections. Okay. What is accrual expenses, prepaid expenses? Just a quick question. Let me see like how many of you are aware about accrual concept. Can anyone tell me any entry for the accrual, like for any payment or for any income? Just an accrual entry. Don't worry, it's not, a test. Just, I'm just tickling you, nothing else. And any student who's not, finding it very familiar, don't worry. I'm just trying to, familiarize with you. Don't worry, we will learn these things. They are chapters. Accrual concept, there is a chapter. So don't worry, we'll be covering that in detail. So Devansh, your turn. Can you tell me any entry if you like to? No worries, no worries. Yeah. So what would be the entry, Sujita? Sujita says income earned but not received. So what would be the journal entry? I'm just checking your knowledge, nothing else. The intention is just to check your knowledge. To record the transition which is going to happen in the future. What is this definition? To record a transition that is going to happen in the future. No, this is not the accrual concept. Yeah, you can go ahead and tell me the definition. Okay. So yeah, very accurate definition. So Yuvraj, it is not a transition that you basically record because it happens in the future. Okay, just to give you a very basic understanding, whenever transaction is incurred, let's say an expenditure is incurred or income is earned, irrespective whether cash is received currently or cash is paid currently, right? And that case, we book a transaction. The reason for that is matching principle, which we will learn. So this is not like a transition will happen in future, so we will be recording today. That is not the logic. The logic is that if a transition is incurred, if a transition occurs, in that case, we'll be recording. Okay, Vraj? Jivika says, suppose we buy goods credit, then transaction will be recorded on the same date, irrespective of cash or not. Very good answer, Jivika. Sir, it is an accrued income. Okay, Sajid. Dia says cash account debit to accrued income. Dia, I did not get your entry. Because you're crediting the income and you're debiting the cash. Makes sense. It should have been income and cash if it is a cash entry. And we are right now talking about accrued entry. So cash shouldn't have been here. No worries, we'll cover. Don't worry this. Capital account debit to income. I think what you're very complex entry actually. Jhalak, this is at the same time correct, and at the same time it is I cannot say that this is 100% accurate. But haven't received. What you're saying is income has earned, but it has not been received. Okay, so what I can see, like there are some confusions, there are some accuracy, but that is why we are learning. Okay, so good. I'm glad to know that, but that is why we are learning, that you clear your doubts. Okay. Receivable, payable, provision and contingent, capital structure, a very important discussion, which we will be having like chapter number 15, 16. Let's see when it comes, but it's a very important discussion and it's related to your limited liability company. Reconciliation. Okay. Just to let you know, let's say you guys are interested in getting a job now and you want to start in financial, let's say financial accounting. BRS, bank reconciliation, is one of the most demanded. Like if I talk about Delhi itself or Gurgaon, there are, let's say, MNCs, Genpact, and many more. And if you have a good knowledge of BRS, they will be readily hiring you at at beginner level, let's say at associate, at analyst level. So BRS is very top notch required. Similarly, tangible, so it's very high demanding key concepts. So if you are very clear with these, if you are if you have clarity about these concepts, so you will be definitely getting some jobs. So please don't take them only as some theoretical concepts. This will be helping in your career as well. So bank reconciliation, you need to have a crystal clear understanding, especially those who are looking for starting their jobs. TP, and again I forgot to mention receivable, payable. These are some very important areas that you can look job, like they are OTC, R2R, in case you guys are interested, because as part of completing your ACCA, you need to have 3 years of training. So just to give you a simple heads up. Now, preparing trial balance, once we are through with the accounting, once we are through with the journal ledger, once we are through with the journal postings, then we will be looking at the trial balance and how to post any correction in the trial balance, and what are the suspense account. Very critical area again. Though in terms of syllabus, it might not be that difficult, but in terms of your understanding and in terms of concept, it's a very important area. Right now, if I talk about, I'm working in an MNC in financial reporting accounting, like 30 to 40% of our focus goes in the suspense accounts. Like if I talk about in a practical sense, suspense account is one of the key aspects, especially in a multinational company, because they have so large volume of transactions that they need to park certain transactions in suspense account on monthly basis. And how do they clear the suspense account? Those who are not basically clearing what I'm saying, don't worry, we'll be covering this suspense account. It's a very, very important aspect. And now, finally, once we are through with this, once we are, good at preparing trial balance, once we are good with preparing journal ledger. So the order is simple. First, we prepare journal entry. First, we basically understand the accounting, then prepare journal entry, journal ledger, then we basically goes through all this accounting and then goes to the trial balance. And finally, we start preparing our financial statement. The purpose we are basically serving that as a financial accountant, as an ACCA, most of you would be, into financial reporting, like I am currently. So you would be basically in preparing financial statement. And when we talk about financial statement, there are certain aspects to it. One thing, I hope, first of all, before I move on, I hope my speed is okay. The pace is okay. Everybody is able to understand, right? If you want me, yes. Divyam, I think this is a very odd, request. You can contact me on WhatsApp, okay, for this. Just contact me personally. I don't think this is the right forum for this. Okay, okay. I understand. See, this is the first class, and right now I have a setup that I'm not familiar with. So you have to bear with me for this class. Tomorrow onwards, I promise things will be much better. Okay, for this class, just bear with me today. And whenever there is any thing that you want me to repeat, do let me know. I'll definitely repeat with you. Okay, is it fine? Hello. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, okay. Finally, we will be, once we start preparing financial statement, we will be focusing on preparing statement of financial position, SFP. This is also known by many as balance sheet. Statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income, SPL, OCI. This is a common term that is used, SPL, OCI, or many of you know as PNL. disclosure notes, very, very important. Many of you are aware about it as notes to accounts or disclosure policies. Okay, when we talk about financial statement, one to in your mind that financial statement is not about balance sheet P&L, but it also include disclosure note. Okay, it is integral part of financial statement. Okay, we will be starting this, but just cement this thing. Financial statement includes balance sheet, statement of financial position, statement of profit and loss, SPL, OCI, and then disclosure notes. Okay, then we also have the cash flow statements and basically okay, cash flow statement and various statement of changes in equity. Statement of changes in equity. This is also part. I'm not sure why this is not included. Okay, so in the syllabus, statement of changes equity is not basically in your syllabus to prepare. Okay, no worries. This you might be learning at your skill level, but definitely I'll introduce you statement of changes in equity. Now, what are incomplete records? We'll also learn the accounting for single entry. Okay, there are sometimes as an accountant, it's not like you always work in a fancy company who provides you all records, all data. There would be challenges where you would see that you face an entity where the records are incomplete. Then as an accountant, it is your responsibility to make these information presentable to shareholder. In that case, you need to work how to you can work on this incomplete records. So this is also part of your syllabus. Now, this one I was surprised when I saw this in your syllabus. This one I was surprised. CFS, Consolidated Financial Statement. It's a very vast subject. I would say that this topic itself is very vast. This consolidated financial statement. Many people get expertise in consolidated financial statement. What it is, let's say there are two entities, there are two companies, and preparing their financial statement separately. Okay, one is parent, one is subsidiary. What these are, I'm not explaining right now, but just to give you context, if there are two companies and let's say they want to prepare the financial statement together, okay, like one financial statement, so this will be coming under consolidated financial statement. When this will happen, basically this happens during parent and subsidiary relationship. What is parent and subsidiary relationship? Don't worry, I'm not going to explain it today. This is a very, very vast topic. I was surprised that it is actually in your syllabus, but what ACCA wants from you guys, that you get an understanding. So it's not like they expect you to become expert at it, but at least you get an understanding. So what kind of question you would be expecting? You'd be expecting some queries where they will give you a situation. Okay, what do you think? What kind of financial statement should be prepared, whether consolidated or not? So these kind of fundamentals you need to be clear with. What is subsidiary, what is associate, we'll be basically getting an understanding of that. So it's a very vast topic. You'll be learning at your skill level, and if I can recall correctly, this might be also covered in your professional level. So it's a very, very vast topic. But this will be at the end of the syllabus, so not much to worry about. And finally, interpretation of financial statement. Okay, I was trying to say something. Interpretation of financial statement. Now, this is an advice that I would give you all, and I want you to remember it. There is no point in preparing financial statement if you can't read it. Please listen again. There is no point in preparing financial statement if you can't read it. So you need to understand how to read financial statements. This is very, very important to you. What do I mean by how to read financial statement? See, one of the famous investor, Mr. Warren Buffett, has said, accounts is the language of business. If you want to understand the business, you need to learn how to read accounts. And if you read to accounts, in that case, you can basically understand what business is saying, whether business is profitable, whether business is loss making, whether there are certain things that critical to the business, what are the key success factor area for the businesses. You can only understand that once you are able to interpret the financial statement. Let me give you one job prospect. Let's say you are into equity market, you are in banking system. In that case, when investing in a company, it becomes pivotal to understand their financial performances, whether company is actually making profit, whether company is a loss making company, whether company has sufficient liquidity. Like in 2008, 2008, there was a financial crisis in the world. This was due to Lehman Brothers. And those who were good at reading financial statement, they already understood that Lehman Brothers had a very high liquidity problem. They had a very high liquidity problem. Though Lehman Brothers were constantly making profit, but they had certain liquidity. So the things which you will be required. Interpretation of financial statement. My very humble request to you, please do not skip these areas. Many students, because there are ratios, many students, just memorize them and forget about them. These are not just memorizing techniques. They are very important to understand the business. So interpretation of financial statement, very important, as well as from your exam point of view. Okay, so I hope the context of the syllabus is clear, that we will be understanding the financial statement reporting, what it is prepared for, understanding the basic principles, understanding what is double entry system, general ledger, how the transactions are recorded, what are bank reconciliations, trade paper reconciliations, how prepare trial balance. Then we'll move on to preparing financial statement. Then we'll understand the consolidated financial statement and interpretation of financial statement. I hope all this is clear. Any doubt, anyone? This is the syllabus. Don't worry. We'll be, covering them majorly like chapter by chapter, which we are just about to start. But I hope so far this is clear about the syllabus area. Yes? Okay. Now let's understand the exam pattern before we move on. And then we'll be having certain study material discussion and the exam tips. Okay. Darren, your question is how long will it take to complete this syllabus? My estimate is that we will be around mid-July, like early mid-July or basically after mid-July. That will depend in case we want to take extra classes. But my estimate is, let's say, mid-July. Okay, so this is what basically the time would take. Though, let me just be clear. Let me clarify. This is an on-demand exam. So let's start the discussion about the exam. So will there be any classes during weekdays? I'll try, Shreya, to keep the class in case we have an extra class, in case we need an extra class. So I'll try to keep extra class on a day that is suitable to you after taking your guys' confirmation. It's not like I will impose on you and many of you will not be able to present on that day. So it doesn't make sense. I'm teaching for you guys, so you guys should be comfortable with that. So in case there is any weekdays class, in case we decide to take any extra class and that comes on weekdays, so I'll basically take your confirmation first. Okay. Any more doubts? Yeah. So let's start. What is basically this financial accounting? Let me just quickly tell you. This is a knowledge level. I hope you are all aware. There are 3 levels: knowledge, skill, and professional, which I hope I don't need to explain you. Then this exam will be 2 hours and it will be a computer-based exam. Okay. What would be the exam pattern? It would be 100% computer marking based on objective questions. There will be objective questions and 100% will be computer-based marking. So what will happen? Let's say the exam will be 2 hours and it will be based on computer. And you can basically book your exam the day you decide. So this is I hope many of you are aware. In case not, it is an on-demand exam. What is an on-demand exam? There is no date for giving exam. You decide the date. So at your knowledge level, you get the privilege to decide when you are ready for your exam. Be it the financial accounting, be it management accounting, be it business and technology, or at skill level, law. Any paper you basically want to prepare. Let's say you are preparing and you are not ready, so you can basically decide, okay, I'll basically give my exam by next week or after that, or let's say next month. Let's say our batch gets completed after the July or mid-July, so you can decide to give your exam just after the batch or by the end of the July or maybe during the August month. So whatever you feel comfortable. Okay, so it's an on-demand exam, but at the same time it's one of the biggest disadvantage. Why? Because see, I have taught multiple batches. and multiple students have come up with me with the same question. And with this, I can definitely say this can become a disadvantage if you are not careful on demand exam. Why? What happens? Because you have a liberty to choose, okay, when I can give exam. This tends to lead that, okay, I will be preparing and just focus. This will be is constant for student. Like I will be preparing first and then I will be giving exam. But the preparation never ends. You keep preparing. What happens? Let's say you have 10 chapters to complete. Okay, I'll prepare it by next week. Next week comes and you don't prepare. Okay, I'll then prepare next week. So you keep deferring. Please, my humble request and my sincere request to you all, I expect you, basically you guys are currently studying a professional course, so maintain a professional behavior, maintain consistency. When you are in the class, please complete this syllabus along with me. Try to complete the syllabus at least along with me. Okay, when I'm giving you homework, you complete the homework, you come with queries, you ask questions. By the end of the class, if syllabus completes, I don't want any student to not complete their syllabus. It's fine that you miss the class, you can miss the class, but you have backups available with you. But please don't let this take over your head. I can definitely give you guarantee many students, make this mistake. The exam I give ask them to, give at least 10 to 20 days for preparation, but they take sometimes months, and it's serious. So though I know half of you will do it anyway, irrespective of my emphasizing, but this is my duty. And those students who can basically give exam on time, so please give them on time. Just prepare a date in your mind. Okay, just give a date in your mind. Let's say your date is July end, and accordingly prepare the syllabus. Okay, prepare for the test, give questions. Okay, familiarize yourself with the exam, and then go for the exam. The pass rate is for the subject is almost 80%, so don't worry about that. But it doesn't mean that you will not be basically it's not only about passing, it's about scoring good. This will help you boost your confidence. Okay, and second thing, do not defer it. I've seen students and couple of students, it infuriates me, but I cannot say it to the students directly, that they have been deferring the exam for 2 to 3 months, and this is at skill level. Sorry, this is at knowledge level. What about skill and professional level? What will you do? So please don't defer. Okay, do not get a bad habit from the start. Now, second part, this is an on-demand. I very thoroughly. So this point is clear that this is an on-demand exam. 100% will be computer-based, and that is why your result will be declared on the same day, because it's 100% computer checking. So result will be declared on the same day. Okay, you will get your provisional result on the same day. Exam would be 100 marks. You need 50% to pass. Okay, there are two sections, section A, section B. Section A consists 70 marks, section B consists 30 marks. Now, what 70 marks is? There are 35 objective question of 2 marks each. So, section A, you would face 35 questions, and with 2 marks each, it would make 70 marks. Now, if you pay attention, out of 100, you need to pass 50. So, if you want, you can clear your FA subject in section A itself by basically completing 25 correct questions. And in that case, your margin of error for incorrect question would be 10. So ACC offers you to, this much flexibility that you guys have a margin of error for 10 questions in section A. So please use that. Try to clear your FA subject in your first section itself. Second section is basically two multi-task question of 15 marks. It's not like one single question of 15 marks. There will be sub parts, okay, like 2 marks, 1 marks, basically totaling 5, 5, 5. Like there will be, case studies, and that will you will be required to complete. Okay, so 2 multitask questions, 15 marks. Don't worry, these are not that lengthy that you are feeling, but this will be covering your entire syllabus. So thorough understanding of syllabus. So it's not like, okay, I'll basically prepare this much part and I'll leave that part. Okay, this will not help you. You have to cover 100% syllabus. So with this, these are the two sections, section A, section B. Basically, section A covering 35 questions, section B covering 2 multitask questions, and you need to pass 50%. Any doubt, anyone? I hope this is all clear. Yes? Now, What would be the study material for you guys? For your syllabus, what you can do, you can basically either go with BPP book or Kaplan book. Okay, either any book you buy, you one workbook, one practice kit. Workbook basically cover your concepts, and practice kit would cover your questions. Practice kit is very, 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 very important. Okay, you are, if you're through with your concepts, then you need to use practice kit, and this is not for your this subject, it is for everyone. In ACCA, let me tell you what happens in ACCA. ACCA is a unique profession. Why? When you prepare for the ACCA exams, the pattern of exam is different from your basically your fellow courses like chartered accountancy in India, or let's say CPA, or let's say CFA. Their exam pattern is different than ACCA. Though the knowledge would be same, the subjects would be same, but the exam pattern would be different. So as for your preparation, you guys need to basically, prepare for the exam. You guys should be familiarize yourself with the exam pattern. So please practice questions. Having knowledge is not enough unless you are able to apply that knowledge. Clear? So please use this practice kit, especially in your financial accounting. There will be many questions. So you need to familiarize yourself with the questions and then basically apply. There will be some, and there will be some practical questions. So use calculation, use basically any theory, and then you'll be able to apply. Now, second very important is ACCA Learning Hub, a very important tool which was introduced last year, 2023. A very important tool in case, let's say, you are studying from a subject, from a book, let's say BPP Kaplan, or let's say you are not finding it very helpful, or you are not finding it sufficient. So you can go to ACCA portal, log into my ACCA, and use ACCA Learning. Okay. Anybody would want, I would basically show how this ACCA Learning Hub. Okay, any student face any challenge, do let me know. I'll help you with ACCA Learning Hub. It's a very important tool. You need to familiarize yourself. They are very good modules, very good practice questions for you. You can go there and use it for your purpose. Okay. Then there are specimen test and mock test. So just to let you know, at knowledge level, you don't get mock test free, unfortunately. ACCA don't offer you mock test free at knowledge level. Though they give you one specimen exam that is also available on ACCA website. I will show you, don't worry. But for mock test, you may need to pay, let's say, £10. Oh, this is dollar. So £10 per test. If you are, if you feel that, okay, I want to get myself familiarized with an exam environment, how basically exam environment feels. So you can basically pay and basically get a mock test. But I think specimen test is also sufficient. Let's say, how would I suggest? What you can do is basically complete your syllabus, practice all questions, give mock test given in your books. Okay, and then give a specimen test, see how much you feel confident, and then basically that would be sufficient, and you can go and prepare for the exam. But in case any student feels doubtful, they can also pay, let's say, £10 or £7. You can see the rate what is available, and then basically give a mock test. Okay, they will give you a basically exam environment. Okay, there are technical article in exam guidance. Technical article is basically given by any ACCA. Let's say I'm in ACCA. So once we complete, we write about, we as an author, we write about certain concepts. And then there are some exam guidance given by examiner. May not be helpful for you at knowledge level, but definitely will be helpful for you. So do use those guides in case, you get interested. And then finally, whether to take exam center based or remote based, first of all, let me tell you, there are options that you can go and basically appear for the exam center for your exam, or you can give exam from your home. This is also a flexibility ACCA offers you. So ACCA is a very flexible course. It gives you the right at knowledge level to select the date and also select the center. You can select your center, basically going to the center, or you can make your home as your center. But there are conditions, how kind of exam environment they would allow you, and that's how you can basically select a home-based exam. Okay, so home-based exam is possible in ACCA. This is how much flexible is ACCA, even at your professional and skill level as well. Okay, so this was all about the financial accounting subject. I hope I have much bored you enough with this, and now I hope you are familiar with this subject. Any doubt about the subject, let's say the exam content or the exam pattern? Any doubt? Though these are things that, I found myself, like, I asked my fellow students and they introduced me. But I feel that because this is an introduction stage, so you should be familiarize yourself with these things. ACCA website, ACCA Learning Hub, technical articles, exam guidance. Okay. So do familiarize yourself with ACCA website, whether you familiarize any other website or not, but do familiarize with this ACCA website. It is very important. Now, exam tips. This is something we will cover throughout. Like preparing this is just a general exam tips for you. Just prepare a study schedule. Okay. Like one advice would be when I complete a class, so please revise the note within 24 hours. Whatever notes I give you after the class, I'll be sharing you this PPT. So you do revise this within 24 hours. Okay. You do take up questions in case I have given any. Okay. And then basically see whether you have any doubt. Your basic clarity will come only after seeing whether you are able to answer the question. Okay. So do use this 24-hour time frame. Otherwise, let's say you complete the batch and then you start preparing for, let's say, 1 month or 2 months later, two things will happen. First of all, your memory will be, weak. Trust me, we humans have a very weak memory. We don't even remember what we have done morning. So forget about, preparing for 2 to 3 months after. Second thing, those students who think, okay, we'll be referring the backup classes, don't worry, you will not. Most of you will give up on the, let's say, after watching one class. This is a very long class, like 2 hours, 3 hours class. It's not a joke. So watching it again is not possible in case any student has any doubt about it. So try to complete it within the batch itself. Okay. Again, understand the exam format, which I just explained, section A, section B, practice time management. Again, 2-hour exam. One important tip, 2-hour exam. So you have 120 minutes and question is 100 marks. See, at the end, you would be completing 35 plus 2, that is 37 questions. Now you have basically 120 minutes. So for each mark, you need to give maximum 1.2. So let's say if one question is 2 marks, so maximum amount of time you should allocate 2.4 minutes, not more than that. If you exceed this 2.4 minute, then in that case, what will happen? You will lose time on completing, rest of the question. And a very, very, very big mistake by students that they don't complete 100% questions. Many students leave like 85 marks. Many students complete 95 marks. It's insane. Let me tell you why. There is no negative marking. And let's say if you are, struggling to pass, this may not work at skill knowledge level, but skill level. Let me tell you what examiners have said. This is not my comment. This is examiners comment at skill and professional level. That student appeared 85 or 90 marks. They were only passing with 49 or 45. Now examiner tried their best to give some extra marks, but because they have already exhausted the limit, let's say a question is 4 marks, they have exhausted the limit of 4 marks, they cannot give 6 marks. So they always said that student not completing 100 marks basically loses some important marks. If let's say they have attempted these let's say 100 marks and the points were valid but not significant, so examiner would have given this extra 1 to 2 marks as a grace marking. They do that. So do not leave any marking. Okay, do not leave any question. It is important, guys. Fortunately, touch wood, in my ACCA experience, I have never left a single question. Never left a single question. And I was surprised that my fellow students were not able to do that because they were not following this technique. If you appear a question and as student, you would be facing the situation that, okay, I want to contribute more to this question. At skill level, especially when you'll be able to write, at professional level, when you'll be able to write, you'll want to feel, okay, I want to write more. But no, you should limit yourself. If time exceeds and you're not able to, select the right option, let's say if I talk about knowledge level, you have an objective question, you're not able to come up with any answer, select one and move. Just blindly select one and move. Whatever logical feels to you, select one. Do not doubt yourself. Just select one, move. Do not waste any time more than this. Do not waste any time more than this. You will not be able to complete the exam. In the exam, the pressure will be high. So please understand. Okay. So with this, I think introduction is clear, is sufficient. Please prepare your own mnemonics. I will not be giving you mnemonics. I don't believe in mnemonics. I believe in conceptual clarity. If you are clear with the concept and you have revised enough, mnemonics will not be required. Okay. This is my introduction for the financial accounting. Now we have already spent 1 hour. I know. So I think with this, we can start our chapter. Any doubt, anyone? Any question? Divyansh? Okay. Sorry for, boring you for 1 hour, but I hope many of you find it helpful. Okay. These are some basic things, but it becomes important for you because, if you carry on your doubt at the later stage, many of the things I learned at professional level, I'll not lie. Examiner's guide, I only read at professional level and I felt so stupid. Okay. Chapter 1. Should we take a 5 minutes break before starting or should we continue? Because after the introduction, many of you might be yawning. Okay, Jivika says as you wish. My wish is to continue. We can continue? Okay, fine. We can continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. Mhm. Chapter 1, Financial Reporting and Accounting. So this is an introduction chapter. This will basically, tell you about what is business entities, what is sole trader, partnership, LLP, limited liability company, LLC. What is financial reporting? Why we prepare financial reporting? What are the elements and who are the users? Okay. So let's start with the business. Why do we do the business? Anyone? Divyansh? Why do we do the business?
So,
Why?
some profit, marketplace, product to
Okay. Divyam says to earn profit. To earn desired profit, Shreya. What is the desired profit? Sometimes you guys answer. So it brings me to new questions. So it is important to maintain self-handwriting notes or reading and highlighted from book and PPT will work. Ashpreet, that is up to you. I will be sharing with you all the highlighted notes, like whatever highlights I have done in the notes, that will be shared with you. Don't worry. Okay. But if you want, you can simultaneously prepare your own notes within the class or after the class, whatever you feel. Okay. I'm just giving you a lecture, and with how you want to take this lecture is up to you. Okay. This is the flexibility I give you. For you, just to give you comfort, these notes, these handwritten notes will be shared with you after the class. Okay, Divyam says maximizing wealth. Okay, to earn the profit and to achieve the objective of business. Okay, what are the objective of business, Safid? It is an economic activity and main motive is to earn profit. Okay, Jhalak says it is the main activity is to earn profit. But Jhalak, what about non-profit organizations? They are also into business. I'm just trying to make you think what you guys are answering. To decrease unemployment. Very interesting. So let's say if I start a business tomorrow, my intention is to decrease unemployment in the country. Okay, that's the right answer, Ashpreet. That non-profit organization motive is to solve social welfare. But are they not part of the business? To provide goods and services to consuming people. Okay, so my intention when I open the business is to provide a product that consumer can use. Objective like to increase the sales of 10% in 1 month. Okay, basically what you're saying, Savarpreet, is grow, making business grow. An economic activity to earn profit and satisfy consumer needs. Okay, shall we? So most of you are, right in what you're saying. Basically, your intention I can understand. And this is something you need to, overcome, and you need to basically refine that how to give a better expression. Especially at skill and professional level, this will be required. Okay. Now, business, as we understand, majorly when we do business for the purpose of, make profit. Okay, by producing or selling goods and services. Any business, basically, they, produce goods, they sell goods. Let's say I'm buying something from somebody, then I will be selling it. So the fundamental of business is, let's say, to buy at less and sell at high. Okay. This is the basic fundamental of business. If you are talking about any profitable business, then the intention is to always buy or produce at less. Let's say you buy raw material, you put labor in it, and then basically you make a product, whatever costing happens, then you sell at higher price. Now, this is the fundamental. Profit is the difference between income and expenses. Whatever you sell and whatever you have incurred or purchased or produced. Okay. So business intention is to make profit. Most of you are correct when we talk about business as a profit entity. If it is a non-profit organization, definitely economic activity will be happening. The main motive will not be profit, but it doesn't mean that profit will not be desired. If a non-profit organization can make profit, definitely they will like to make profit, but their main motive is not profit. Okay, it's not like non-profit organization would only like to incur losses. Nobody likes to incur losses. Everybody likes profit. Okay. So business intention is to make profit, whether profitable, non-profitable. But definitely in non-profitable organization, the intention is not to make profit first, but to basically serve the cause that they are for. Okay, something you will learn in your business subject. Your teacher or business subject will teach you. Okay. Type of business: sole trader, partnership, limited liability. Give me quick definitions. What are sole trader, partnership? See, what we are first of all understanding is, let me just give you in case you are confused. We are learning financial accounting, but first of all, we are understanding what our business is. Once we understand businesses, then we will see how business is used financial accounting. What are sole proprietor, sole trader, partnership, and limited liability company? What do you understand of them?
Sole trader होता है तो single owner होता है, तो ये किसी manager and capital use करते हैं. Partnership में two or more people get to come together and join to make profits and do business. And then LLC एक separate legal entity हो जाती है जो अपने ही नाम पे liability रख सकती है, properties को किसी को sue कर सकती है या फिर किसी को business कर सकती है. वो separate और sole trader में unlimited liability होती है. पार्टनरशिप में भी एलएलपी हो सकता है, अनलिमिटेड लायबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप, बट वैसे उसमें अनलिमिटेड लायबिलिटी नहीं होती है. बट जो एलएलसी होती है उसमें सेपरेट लीगल एंटिटी होती है, तो जितना एलएलसी होती है तो हमारी लॉस होती है.
Okay, very accurate, Tejaj. Okay, so Divyansh has basically given me a very good definition here. So let's see what you guys are right now writing. Just a second. What you guys are saying? Partnership means mutual agreement between two or more persons to run a business and share profit and loss. Very good definition. Server prices sold in only one person. Only one person. Yeah, sole trader is one person who is the only person running the business. Okay, basically individual. The Mandeep again. Shall we say sole trader who runs the business on his own, having unlimited liability? Okay, unlimited liability. The start a company, it's a sole trader. When a partner who partnership is when two or more people come together, start a business. Okay, reasonable definition, Tavisha. Jivika says partnership share losses, profit based on profit sharing. Okay, nice. So I think you guys are already very good at understanding business. So I don't need to explain it in very detail. You guys are giving very good definitions. Sole trader is a process in which only one person can manage all the business and takes all the decision. I would not say separate can manage only one person. As a sole trader, you bear the all risk. Okay. you can take multiple employees as well. They will be, the control will be on, basically will be yours. You can take help of multiple people, but the profit sharing will be only with you, and also you will be having the ultimate control. Okay, so let's discuss this sole trader. Single owner entity sole trader, right, Sajita? Devyam says if there is more than two owners, there is a partnership. In economic activity to, okay, this again. Sole trader business with unlimited liability. Unlimited liability. Yuvraj says partnership, two or more person came to do business with unlimited liability to share their respective share. Okay. Savrita says yes, but on control of one person. Yeah. That's what I was saying, Savrita. Partnership, when two or more person come together sharing. Okay, so with this I can understand that you guys are already familiar with this, so let's understand the concept. What is sole trader? Sole trader is basically somebody who, let's say, if I tomorrow start my own business, if you guys start your own business, let's say open a shop, let's say create any kind of startup, anything that you start on your own. Okay, there is nobody else involved, as let's say, who's taking risk. You are taking risk solely. Okay, solely taking risk. Okay, you have 100% inputted your capital. Okay, individual who own, control and manage. So I will be the one who basically own, who have invested the money. I will be the one who's controlling. Let's say I can get multiple employees in my organization, but they will be my employees who I control. I will be the one who will be managing. I will be the manager. I will be the owner. Okay, so sole trader, very small businesses we see on day-to-day basis. Okay, legal difference between sole trader, basically ownership change, business continuation, taxation, property ownership, legal liability. Let's understand that sole, if I die, or let's say if I want to discontinue my business, in that case I need to sell it to somebody, or let's say if I die, my business will not be able to continue. There is no continuation of business after I basically see no longer is basically exist. So sole trader has this, that the business is itself known by the businessman. If I am running my business, then I will be the one who's basically continuing the business. So business will be running in my name. Okay. And let's say if I want to take a loan, so loan will be given to me, not to my business. If it is given to my business, then it is same as giving to me. Taxation, there will be no separate legal entity. There will be no separate legal entity. What is separate legal entity? We'll understand in company case. But just to give you a context, if let's say a business makes 2 lakh profit, and that 2 lakh will not be charged to business, but will be charged to me. So if there is a 2 lakh profit, so if let's say there is a tax of 30%, that 30% tax I need to pay from my pocket. Okay, I will be personally liable. And sole trader have unlimited liability. What is unlimited liability? Let's say if I run a business and suddenly somebody files a case against me and my entire business is sold, but the liability is still not recovered. That person, let's say a bank, can come and basically sell my personal property. They can sell my car. They can sell my home. They have this right because I have unlimited liability. Till the time I'm not repaying the amount, I will be having unlimited liability. So sole trader has a very, very high risk that they have a very high unlimited liability. Sorry, they have a very high risk because they have a unlimited liability. You need to pay all your, basically you need to sell all your assets, whether personal or business, to pay off the liability. First of all, your business assets will be taken. In case they are not able to pay, then in that case, your personal assets, let's say your home, car, they will also be sold. Anything that is attached to you will be sold. Okay, let's say you have given any gift to your children, so those gifts will also be considered as your personal assets. Nothing will be expired. So sole trader bears the highest level of risk. But this becomes moderate at the same time. Why? Because if you see on day-to-day basis, to a shop or anywhere, you don't see these people having unlimited life. Basically, these people having any significant danger or significant threat, because these people are running at a very low operation. The problem becomes when a sole trader try to expand their business. In that case, they need to have certain type of formality. In sole trader, you would see that there are very less formalities, very less paperwork. And this is one of the reasons that I teach at business subject, that if you want to expand, you need to have a formal business. You need to, in order to expand, you need to have some documentation. And sole traders are, lack of documentation, lack of formality. They take instant decision. The decision making is faster. This is one of the advantage. They have the complete control. So the decision making is very flexible and fast. But at the same time, because there is no formality, there is no documentation, things become onerous on the basically the sole trader, and they are difficult to delegate the work. They're difficult to expand, and that is one of the disadvantages. And again, they have full liability of the debt. Their personal assets will be basically subject to recovery in case they are not able to pay debt. Limited finance options, sole traders don't get much loan as compared to a company. We will learn. And business continuity challenge is always there. If sole trader, let's say gets ill, then business will stop. Clear with the sole trader? Any doubt about anyone? In sole trader, the son, daughter of an owner can continue. Then basically they will be continuing the business in their own capacity, Jivika. They will be the sole trader then. The old sole trader will not continue. Okay. Let's say what I'm understanding is you are saying, let's say there's a family business, right, Jivika? That is what your question is. Let's say a family business is going. So in that case, those people will become the sole trader and they will become responsible. Clear? Let's say I have a shop. Now my son is running the shop. Now my son will be liable. Let's say me and my son both are running the shop. Then we will understand whether it's a partnership or sole trader. Okay. So let's move to the partnership. As long as it's only one individual and they are running the business, they will be the sole trader. Let's say if the person removes and their son or daughter basically takes over the business, then they will be sole trader. Okay. Now for partnership, if let's say there are two or more individual, For partnership, you need to have at least two people. And the thing about partnership, you don't have to have a documentation. Documentation is non-mandatory, but you are supposed to create an agreement. Let's say I want to create a shop, and let's say I want to start a shop with you. I don't know much about you, you don't know much about me. You have a talent, I have money. So what we can do is create an agreement. We'll share, okay, how much profit we will share, how much money we will contribute, who will do what. This helps. So normally it is recommended when you open a partnership that, okay, you basically create an agreement with each other. That is important. Is this clear? In partnership, there are two or more individuals. It's just like a sole trader business. The difference is that in partnership, you are recommended to have a documentation. Now person will be responsible for their own, let's say account. They will be given certain responsibility. Let's say I am doing the business, you take care of the accounting. Or let's say I'm doing the marketing, you look into the operations. So in partnership, you can divide your responsibilities. And it is very important that you document all these things in a partnership agreement. Okay. In a partnership agreement. So if you two or more individuals jointly owning and managing the business, these individuals, let's say I invest 1 lakh, you invest 1 lakh. This is 1 lakh. So 1 lakh each. So our capital would be 2 lakh. Okay. So we are together combining this. Some of them would be, let's say, some of them would be investing 30,000. Some of them would be investing 40,000. Some of them would be investing 50,000. So let's say there are three partners, A, B, C. So each have basically, contributed according to their capacity. And accordingly, if we have capital contribution, so similarly, we would have a profit sharing. So let's say if there is a 10 rupees profit, this is 5. And this is 7. So this is 12. So let's say there is a 12 lakh profit. So 5 lakh will go to this person, C, 3 lakh will go to this person, and 4 lakh will go to this person. The amount that you contribute will be the same amount that will be basically distributed as a profit between you. And this is the same for the losses as well. So this is how you go with the partnership, that you contribute a capital and then you basically decide. Best practice is to create a documentation, create a partnership agreement, but not compulsory. Okay. You can have a new partner. Okay. If anyone want, basically, let's say you and I are continuing and we want to expand, but we need capital. So we can join a new partner who can introduce capital. Okay. Let's say we have ownership of 50-50. So what we can do, we can basically sacrifice 10% and give 20% to this new person. Okay. This can be the practice. We own 40% and we give basically 20%. Or let's say I'm owning 50% and my partner is owning 50%. So I split my share. I own 20 and my son or daughter, let's say if I introduce them into business, I give them my share and my partner still own 50%. This is how you basically decide. Okay, any doubt about it? Taxation, just like as I said, this is just like sole trader. The taxation would be same. Like let's say if there's a partnership firm that is taxed, then the tax will be recovered from the partner. Okay, there is no separate liability. The partner and partnership firm are the same thing. Business continuation, let's say there are two partners, one partner dies and one partner is remaining. In that case, you cannot continue partnership unless you get a new partner. So they are business continuation issue. Let's say there are three partners. Out of three partners, two partners remain, one partner retires. In that case, can they continue with the old partnership firm? No. The old partnership firm will cease to exist and a new partnership between these two partners will continue. So continuation is again a problem. So just like sole trader, that if person retires, person dies, in that case, new partnership gets formed. Or let's say a new person admits. There were three partners earlier, now there are four partners. In that case also, this will be a new partnership. Clear? You can continue with the old name. Don't confuse that, okay, we are continuing with the old name, then why it is that that we are facing continuation issue. This is not that. Whenever a partner admits or retires, or basically, let's say partner dies, in that case, a new partnership deed is created, either written or orally. Old partnership basically ceases to exist the moment the person retires or admits. Clear, everyone? Any doubts, Shivam? Sorry, sorry, there are many students, so I'm getting confused here. Now, advantages, as I told, they are defined roles, easier financing raising. Why? As compared to the sole trader who, let's say I have 10 lakh of assets. So bank will be willing me to give, let's say 5 lakh of loan, or let's say 6 lakh of loan, giving, mortgage possibility. But if there are partners, so there are multiple people, let's say I have 10 lakh assets, you have 20 lakh assets. So in that case, combined, we can take more loans. So easier financing as compared to partner sole trader. Okay, as compared to sole trader. It doesn't mean that you can now take easy loans. Easy loan will not be, basically loans will still be difficult in case your partnership lacks formality. Banks looks after documentation, and if your partner, basically if your firm lacks the documentation, let's say partnership deed, in that case it will be difficult for you to acquire loan. So guys, are we back? So sorry for the today is everything is happening that is not supposed to happen. But this is our first class, so please, I expect some mercy from you guys. Are we back, guys? Hello. Shavisha says yes. Okay. So I think we were in middle of discussing the partnership and sole proprietor. I hope the discussion about partnership and sole proprietor is clear. The advantages and disadvantages. Definitely the advantages is better in terms of sole proprietor, that they are defined roles. Their financing becomes easier as compared to the sole proprietor. Please start working. Yeah. Yeah. So the financing becomes easier. They are reduced paperwork, diverse skills, multiple people are involved. I shouldn't say reduce paperwork. Paperwork should really increase. This would not reduce. As compared to sole proprietor, paperwork will increase. But as compared to company, definitely paperwork is reduced. Now, disadvantages, there are costs involved. First of all, creating a partnership requires a cost to business. It's not an easy thing. You need to create some cost. You need to bear some cost. Okay. They are slow decision making. Sometimes, happens like it happens with my brother also. Like I and my brother are discussing something and suddenly we are at a point that we are not agreeing and decision making slows down in our home. So this is about home. What about partnership where your money is involved? So decision making is basically problem. Business continuation. Partnership gets maximum benefit from the name of partner. Just like sole trader, your business will be known from the image of your partner. Let's say if that partner leaves, so the essence of the business will leave, and suddenly you again, the continuation of the old partnership will stop and the new partnership will form. Like I remember when I was doing my a training period, I took a training from one of the partner who was top firm in the Delhi, but he left that firm, so I had to I always like working with that person, so that's why I also left that firm. So business continuation is a problem in a partnership. Sometimes your partner can become your competitor if they leave the business. Okay. Personal liability, just like sole trader, there is no separate legal entity. All partners will be jointly liable. So let's say if one partner has made some blunder in the business and that has basically caused some loan or some liability on the business will need to pay off even from the assets of the different partner and even from the personal assets of the different partner. So if you come in a partnership firm, you need to be prepared that, okay, liability of you will be unlimited with yours and as well as your partners. So liability is still unlimited. There is a solution though, that is limited liability company or limited liability partnership. Though limited liability partnership is not part of this subject right now, we will be majorly covering company, but the parameters are same. Okay, so with this, I hope partnership and sole trader is clear. Any doubt, do let me know. Now, company, a very important, and this is actually connected. This point is actually connected with your, just a second, with your capital structure chapter. The better we understand the company, the better we are at understanding the capital structure chapter. Okay, what is a company? I think many of you answered, but in case anyone can contribute, or should I start explaining? From which book you taught? Right now, I'm basically sharing my notes, Sabri. I'm not teaching from any book. This is my notes, which I'm sharing with you. Yeah. You can use BPP, Kaplan, and you can also use my notes, whatever you are comfortable. See, the idea is use any one source, stick to it, and then in case you do not find anything comfortable, any concept not comfortable, then reach out to other sources like ACCA Learning Hub, your BPP, Kaplan. Do not mix. Do not take multiple sources same time. Like to learn limited liability company, do not go to Kaplan and BP unless you are not clear. If you are unclear, I have used multiple books, but I have used them strategically. See, complete a book requires time. Complete a notes requires time. So be strategic about it. If you're clear about a concept, don't read the same concept in the different book. Read a concept which you are not clear or concept not covered in the notes or book. Okay, be smart about it. Now, limited liability company. Limited liability company involves investor buying share to become shareholder with director managing the company on behalf. Now, just okay. So, limited liability company, what is a company? See, let me tell you one story. Let me see if the controls are. Yeah. Not sure why this is not working. Okay, let me tell you a story. Yeah, Janvi, don't worry. What I am doing, I'm just going to start the accounting. What I am doing here is right now teaching you about what is business. And then we'll understand how basically business uses accounting. Okay, Janvi? We are just creating fundamental. I have not started accounting. I understand this is a financial accounting subject. But right now what I'm doing is basically helping you with the business. Once we understand business, then we'll go with the accounting. Clear, Janvi? Okay. See, we all understand that sole trader has this issue that they have unlimited liability. And this is the story that I tell my students in my business class, that there was one politician, or basically a famous leader, I should say, Mr. Abraham Lincoln. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about this person. Abraham Lincoln is one of the famous leader of the world. Like, he's the leader of US at that time when he was alive. So his friend actually, got into a business, and his friend, not Abraham Lincoln himself, but his friend got into a business. And what happened? That the business got, bankrupt. The business got bankrupt, and he had lots of loans. So what the lender did, they basically sell off all the assets of his friend, all the assets of his friend. His family got on road. Okay, they were very poor. Okay, and still they were not able to pay back the loan. Still there was some amount left. So his friend was jailed for that. And there, Mr. Abraham Lincoln visited his friend. And his friend advised this, that why my family had to suffer because of a business mistake. I made a business, there were some employees, they were earning from me, lender were getting interest from me, but because I made a blunder in the business, why my family is suffering, why my personal assets are getting sold. So in that, they came across an idea, a separate legal entity. And this is where companies were formed. This is actually a true story, not something I'm making up. If you are interested in learning about equity stock market, read the book One Up Wall Street. One Up Wall Street. This is a book. This is where I got to know these were formed. So his friend, and he was jailed because of a business decision. He was not able to pay debt. So the person suffered at personal level, which was not supposed to happen. Business is something that helps economy boost. Businesses create employment. Businesses are important for economy. Then why are you punishing somebody so harsh because they made a business mistake? Definitely money is involved. Definitely people who have invested their money, they want their money back. But and is there no responsibility on them? Like, these lenders shouldn't have they checked like how much business have money? Shouldn't have they checked, right? So that is why businesses have to have this separate legal entity to promote businesses, so that more people can take on businesses. Right now we still, as a normal human being, especially in country like India, China, we tend to avoid doing businesses because businesses are risky. But think about, like, at the time of 1800s, this was the most difficult. Doing business is one of the blunder thing people would imagine, because there are chances that your personal assets will be sold off. So that is why people used to avoid doing businesses. So that's why there was a concept called company was created, so that a separate legal entity can be formed. What separate legal entity now does? Now, let's say the friend of Mr. Abraham Lincoln, he started the business again. Let's say now he started a business with 10 lakh. He initially made, let's say, 50 lakh profits, and business was going well. He took a loan, let's say 1 crore, but suddenly the business flopped. The idea that he was basically selling, customer didn't like it. He became illiquid, and now he need to pay 1 crore asset. So the 10 lakh will be gone. The business that the money that business created, that will be gone. Now if lender come back for recovering this 90 lakh by selling the asset of this person, let's say Mr. A, okay, now in that case they will be stopped. Why? Because the person had basically run the business in the name of A Limited and not by Mr. A. This business was run by A Limited. Now, if bank wants to recover this 90 lakh, they cannot do so. Why? Because A Limited only have 10 lakh worth of assets. So 90 lakh business will not be able to recover. No matter whether Mr. A himself owns 2 crores. Doesn't matter. Not the lenders, the banks, they cannot recover this 90 lakh if A Limited only has 10 lakh. If Mr. A conducted his business fairly, so in that case, business cannot basically. So with this, two concepts come from company. One is separate legal entity, And second is limited liability. That a business will only be responsible. Business will only be responsible for the assets it's owned. Assets is owned. Okay, if it assets exhaust, you sell the assets and you're still not able to recover money, then in that case, you are not supposed to recover more. Okay, Blenders Bank will not be able to recover more. So their liability becomes limited. And as you just saw that because the business was done in the name of A Limited, then in that case, Mr. A personal assets will not be basically accounted for. Mr. A will be a separate person and this A Limited would be a separate person. This person would be an artificial person in the eye of law. Okay, in the eye of law, this person as A Limited will exist. Okay, this will be a real person in terms of law. Okay, but this is just a paper for on paper, but it exists. Okay, that's why this A Limited will create a separate legal entity. Is this clear about company, about separate legal entity and limited liability? Though I spend much time in business subject, but I hope the idea is clear. I don't want to spend much time here, but the idea about separate legal entity and limited liability is clear. I'll give you one more example to explain. Let's say, I hope you understand this business, Reliance Limited, or just in case any foreign student, Tesla. Okay, Reliance Limited has many businesses. One of the businesses it has is, let's say, retail. It sells so many retail. Let's say the business is earning very well. It's earning 2 lakh per annum, 2 lakh crore per annum. And similarly, it has oil refineries. What if, let's say, in oil refineries, a blast happened in the sea and many people die, unfortunately. Okay, and the sea gets, basically, there is some pollution happen in the sea. Okay, the sea fishes and the environment of the sea gets polluted, right? So now there is a liability of 5 lakh crore on Reliance Oil Refinery Limited, 5 lakh crore. Now tell me, with the concept of limited liability, do you think that Reliance Limited needs to pay this 2 lakh crore? Though both are owned by Mr. Mukesh Ambani. Both are owned by Mr. Mukesh Ambani. Reliance Retail Limited, Reliance All Limited. This 5 lakh crore is a liability on Reliance All Limited. Okay, basically there was some mishappening in the Reliance All Limited. Now the business of retail was doing well. It had done nothing wrong. It was the oil business because it was owned by some single person. So do you think that we can recover this 5 lakh from Reliance Retail? Devyam says no. Yuvraj says no. Tavisha says no. So what's your answer, Devyam? No. Why? Very good. Very good. No, entity because separate legal entity. Very good. So even after Mr. Mukesh Ambani, the single owner, is owning these businesses, but he was very smart. He created two different entities, basically Reliance Retail Limited and Reliance Oil Limited. Whatever loss Oil Limited has made, in that case, that Oil Limited will be responsible for their losses. Okay, their losses will not exceed to their different companies, even if owned by same person. And similarly, let's say Tesla and SpaceX owned by Mr. Elon Musk. If there is a blast, let's say in good faith, just to explain, let's say there's a blast happen in the SpaceX rocket and this becomes a tragedy. So what would happen? Does the Tesla car need to be, recover the money from SpaceX? Obviously no. Why? Because they are limited companies. So limited liability company gives the liability limited to the assets of the company and creates a separate legal entity. I hope this is crystal clear. Okay. Now, when we have this, there are some responsibility. This is a very, very important tool to, promote businesses, but this can be exploited. So that is why there are some responsibilities. First of all, tell me, this much is clear? Yes. Yes. Okay. So let's understand the second part of it. So because we have a limited liability company, so liability will be limited and separate legal entity. So in that case, now we can take, let's say I'm a business of 10 lakh, I can take 100 crore loan. My business worth is only 10 lakh, but now I have a potential of taking 100 crores loan, 200 crores loan, and nobody will be able to stop me, right? With this logic, because I have a limited liability. I can take now any much risk I want. But here, what the limited liability company needs to check, and this is where your financial accounting would be playing. That because you have a limited liability and you have a separate legal entity, so now you need to prepare. Financial information. Financial information to users of financial statement. What financial information? Balance sheet showing your position, how much assets, how much liability you have, your profit and loss, basically showing your performances. Okay, I'm using, but I hope you understand this is financial position, SFP, as financial position. This is your statement of financial performance limit, basically profit and loss. And then basically cash flow statement, how much cash is generating business, basically from where cash is generated. Okay, operating activity, investing activity. Why? Let's say I have understood that, okay, now the liability is limited, but let's say I'm a bank. If I want to lend somebody a loan and this is a company, I will be worried about the recovery, because company has limited assets. So how much I will be able to recover? I will be worried. And bank is crucial. Bank is crucial for, economy. They provide the finance, they provide the credit. Now, if bank is basically does not want to take a risk and they do not want to lend, then this will not work. And that is why the law basically requires that businesses furnishes this financial statement, financial information. Okay, so banks would basically look at the financial statement. Banks look at these financial statements which are prepared by you guys. Okay, whether these financial statement, the position of the entity, what are the losses of the entity or profits of the entity, how much cash entity has. This will be basically prepared by you, and this is the use of your financial accounting and financial reporting. Clear, everyone? About the first of all company and the uses that your financial information will. Company has this power of limited liability and separate legal entity, but they are honored with the responsibility that they need to provide financial information. Okay, when we sole trader and partnership, they have also been given this responsibility to provide information, but because these are very small businesses, okay, and providing financial information is very costly, in that case they have been exempted. Okay, small businesses are exempted from providing financial information, but if they want, can have an accountant and prepare your books of account for the purpose of owner, basically providing them information. Similarly for partnership, because partnership have two or more individual, how much profit we are making, for that we need to basically do the accounting, right? Only once we know, okay, how much profit we have made, how much sales we have made, then we will be able to share the profit, right? Making sense? Yes or no? So ultimately, if I talk about your financial information, your financial information, your balance sheet, P&L, your cash flow statement, these are basically financial statements. These are prepared from your books of account. What are books of accounts? What are books of accounts? Basically your general ledger, your journal entries, okay, from your sales ledger, purchase ledger, okay, your expenses account, your assets accounts, let's say your plant and machinery account, car account, building account. So these are prepared from using these information. So first of all, we input this information in accounting, and then we use them to prepare balance sheet, P&L. Okay, this process trial balance. Okay, so as an accountant, you need to understand that you will be preparing this information for these businesses, sometimes for sole trader, but because this is not mandatory, so you may be preparing a small set of financial statements, okay, only for the owner. And let's say that sole trader wants to take a loan from bank, so bank will require this balance sheet, P&L. Partner would definitely be interested how much profit we have made, so that we can share how much basically we are earning. So partnership would definitely be interested in those profits. The company has this responsibility that I have told you, because they have unlimited power of limited liability and separate legal entity. So they have been given responsibility of providing information. So bank can know how much loan they can provide. If company is having only 10 lakh assets, in that case, bank only provide them, let's say 5 lakh loan. Okay. Bank does not provide them, let's say 20 crore rupees, right? It doesn't make sense for the bank because that will be too much risk. But that can only be known by bank, that if company provides their information. Okay. Whether that information will be reliable or not, that is something you will learn in your audit chapter. But so far, this much discussion, what I have done, is it clear? Any doubt about anyone, anything? Okay, Yuvansh, clear? Yeah. Now, good. Now, finance department, that you guys, most of you guys would be working. Many of you would be opening your own businesses. Many of you would be working in finance role. Okay, maybe partnership, or basically as a practice, or maybe, you know, as an employment. So finance department will be something that you will be familiar as an ACCA. What basically by finance department does, it provides information for financial statement, basically, which is important for, you know, financial performance, where how much performance we have made. Like for partnership, like I told you, whether our performance is increasing, whether our sales is increasing, where expenses are reduced. Like if you remember, sales high, purchase at low. Okay, so whether sales are low, whether sales are high, so that we can track our performances. To track our performances, you always go with profit and loss. To check how much assets you have, you go with balance sheet. Okay, to check where getting cash from, you goes to cash flow statement. So we are just going to cover that in a moment. So what basically finance department does, it basically record the transaction, like posting journal entries, analyze them, like whether, you know, they say there has been increase or decrease in sales, there have been increase or decrease in you know, expenses. And this is something you majorly does in your management accounting. And summarize the financial data. Like if I want to prepare a financial statement for bank, I'll be preparing a financial statement, balance sheet, P&L to bank. Also to shareholders, which we will learn in the company. I have not discussed the shareholder much, but we'll just learn, like we prepare financial statement for shareholder to tell them how much profit they have made. Okay. Let's say imagine a company ABC Limited that, you know, produces electronic gadgets. So what finance department would do? Finance department would basically record the transactions. Okay, financial transaction including sales, revenue, textile, raw material, labor cost. Then it will analyze it, revenue, cost, profits, and, you know, how well ABC Limited is performing, and then summarize it. Basically, finance department summarizing the financial data, financial statement, income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, etc. So this is what finance department role is to the business, providing the information. There are multiple more roles, like, you know, doing the treasury work, doing the financing, okay, taking on projects, etc. For the timing, as accounting, we are understanding that finance department major role is providing the financial information to the business so that they can make decisions. Clear? Nice. Now, some elements, and I think today we'll keep a short class. We'll just cover these elements and then we'll just wrap it up. Okay. So elements of financial statement. Financial position. There is a SFP, statement of profit and loss, SPL, and OCI. There are two factors actually. So we'll just discuss them. Statement of cash flow and statement of changes in equity. Now, as I told you, whenever we talk about financial statement, other than these four components, we also include notes to accounts. Okay. Never forget that when we talk about financial statement, notes and disclosures are a significant part. Now, we also learn that in financial statement, when we talk about financial statement, there are some non-financial factors as well, which is called non-financial reports. Okay, like annual report. We'll learn about the annual report. Like the purpose of management is to prepare financial statement as well as provide the shareholder with other information. What are the other information? Let's say I'm talking about Tesla in 2016. Tesla was not big in 2016. Tesla was actually struggling. Like it was 2016 or 2014. I don't remember the exact date, but there was a time when Tesla was a loss-making company. But Mr. Elon Musk's vision was to make Tesla a profitable company and basically make a car that is based on battery. It was not done before. A car that is basically, based on battery and can run electrically is something that was a new concept and there was no market. So if you look at the balance sheet and, P&L of that time of Tesla, you would see that it is a loss-making company. There is no sense, investing in a company like this. It doesn't make sense if you only look at the financial statement. But if you have look at the commentary of Mr. Elon Musk at that time, he was very clear that, okay, what our intention is. We are loss-making company, but we will be loss-making company for a couple of years. But once we basically hit the market, we will make a huge profit. So those people who not only relied on the financial information, but also use non-financial reports like annual report where management commentary was there. Okay, management commentary was there. When they read the information holistically, then they actually got the clear picture. And this is again one of the limitations of financial statements, that financial statement only provide financial information and it is not taking account of non-financial aspect. Okay, if I am, let's say I'm developing a, let's say formula, I'm developing a technology. So in initial years, definitely the company will be loss making. So in this case, this profit and loss and balance sheet will not give me a correct picture. But if I include the non-financial information, then only I will be able to understand the basics. Okay. So understanding the non-financial report, which will be basically will cover the, let's say, integrated report or the annual report. Financial statements are prepared by all businesses, sole trader, partnership, limited company under a supervision of accountant to ensure compliance with accounting standard. What is accounting standard? We'll in the next chapter. Now, these are some quick things. What is balance sheet? Balance sheet, profit and loss, and cash flow statement. So let me know if we should continue this and basically cover this, or should we continue tomorrow? My plan was to have a 2-hour class, but if you want, we can also cover these today and then we'll basically wrap it up. Or should we wrap it up right now? Tomorrow? Tomorrow. Okay. So today class intention was only 2 hours. So I hope you like the lecture, and with this we'll just wrap it up today. And if my pacing was correct, you want me to clear any doubt, we actually introduce the business subject first and then we basically move to the financial accounting. We have not yet started, so please bear with me for tomorrow class as well. And once we are through, then basically make any judgment. Okay. From tomorrow, we'll be focusing solely on financial accounting. Sure, Savrita, go ahead. Those who have doubts, you can stay. Rest, you can leave. We are through with the chapter today. Okay, let me stop sharing screen. Divyansh, you have any question? Okay. Please explain non-financial report. Savrita, as I told you, that sometimes financial information is not enough. Okay, you can only make